About a year ago, I drove for Uber for around 9 to 10 months, and I saw a lot of weird shit. This is the second episode in a series where I'm just kind of talking about and telling you stories from my time driving for Uber. I would definitely recommend going and watching the first episode if you like this one, or if you already watched the first one, welcome to the second episode. I realized in the first episode that I kind of fucking blew my really big stories. Damn it. So this episode is gonna be some shorter stories of just like fucking still just weird and just I hated this job. So to give context for this first story, there was this like trend going around on Uber for a minute when I drove where people would request rides and you'd pull up and they'd be like, hey, I don't actually need a ride anywhere, but can you take this item to this person? And like for a while it was just like a courier service, you know what I mean? And it was tight because you didn't have to talk to anyone. And of course, like after a while Uber like sent a memo out because they were like, hey, stop doing this because people have been sending drugs this way. Which is fucking brilliant. I pull up to this like college campus, it's 8 or 9 at night. This dude meets me out front of like a dorm. He comes up to the window and I roll it down and he's like, hey man, I just need you to deliver this box to my ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, oh man, this will be juicy. I'm like, for sure dude, absolutely. And he hands me this like Converse shoebox through the window. He gives me the address and a phone number and I'm like, all right dude, happy to be the messenger. So I start driving, this shit's sitting in the front seat with me and I'm just listening to music. I'm like, this is great. I love getting paid to just be lonely. So after a little bit of driving, I start to smell something weird. At this time, Uber had just sent the memo out saying like, don't fucking do these delivery requests anymore because drugs and you will go to jail and it's not our fault. And my mind starts racing because that's what I do. I freak out. That's the only thing I'm good at. I'm like, fuck, this is to this guy's ex-girlfriend. Like this might be personal, but like I need to know. I need to know. I pull over to Wendy's parking lot and I'm just sitting there just looking at this box. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, sack up, let's go. I open it. And in this box, there is a $20 bill sitting on top of a note that is sitting on top of a very dead hamster. I immediately have a few questions. The first one, which you'd think would be like either, why am I transporting a dead animal right now? Or what am I doing with my life? Why the 20? Was this guy like, well, we got this hamster together. I fucked up. I'm in the wrong here. I'm paying you back on your investment. The note reads, Kara, we tried our best, but didn't make it. So my next thought is, did this guy's relationship end and then also his pet died and he used his dead pet to send it as like a metaphor to his ex-girlfriend for their broken relationship? Because if so, that's fucking poetic. Great job. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could be doing anything else with my life. I called the number that this guy gave me and I'm like, hey Kara, I'm an Uber driver, which is the best pickup line ever if you didn't know. Your ex-boyfriend just requested me to drop off a delivery for you. It's a dead hamster. And she just kind of pauses and then I just hear her start cracking up and she just goes, yeah, I don't want that. I was like, are you sure? Is there sentimental value here? Like, I'm close. I can get it to you if you want. She's like, nah, bye. I'm like, bet. I fucking pocket that 20. I like carry the box out with this little dude in it. I like give him some last words. I'm like, dude, I wish you weren't, you know, a fucking point here for some weird ass dude who's probably gonna be a fucking serial killer. I toss him out. I fucking get back in my car and I go on with my fucking day. So this next story is kind of filler, but I realized that I've just been kind of talking about all the bad shit that ever happened to me driving for Uber. This one was kind of sweet. It made me feel something. It was like 3 p.m. on a weekday and I'm downtown and I get this request. I pull up outside a rehab center. I'm waiting on this girl named Ashley and this girl walks outside who's like kind of cute. I'm like, all right, there's a story here. And she gets in my car and I start pulling away and my GPS is like, hey, you're going 2.5 hours away to Ohio. And I look at her, I'm like, hey, is this a mistake? Did you put the address in wrong? And she's like, no, I'm going home to Ohio. I just got out of rehab for heroin addiction. I've been in there a year and you're the first person I've seen outside of rehab. And I'm just driving and I'm like, oh fuck. We literally just went on like a little road trip. We stopped at a gas station, fucking got like drinks and snacks, and we were just like listening to music and talking. This girl was really cool, had gone through some fucked up shit. She like lives out on a farm in whatever, Ohio, and her parents like literally fucking sent her to rehab in Indianapolis. Logistics. Literally like, yeah, I haven't heard from them in a year. They don't even know I'm coming home today. Like, I'm so nervous. I hope they take me back. I was like blown away. I felt really like kind of happy to be the first person that this girl got to see and talk to after a year of probably hell. Yeah, it was really nice. So Ashley, I hope you're not doing heroin still, because that's bad. I hope you're doing well. And totally DM me if you watch this, which you probably won't, because no one does. This last story is actually about the last ride I ever gave for Uber. After this, I literally was like, fuck it, I'm out. Also, as a disclaimer, I hate that I even have to say this before I start this story, I'm not making fun of this guy. I'm not mocking his disabilities. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just commenting on how ridiculous the whole situation was. So if you hate me after this, welcome to the club. 9 or so at night, I get a request. I'm out in like the suburbs kind of from this guy named James. I start driving to him and he calls me. He's like, hey, I'm your Uber passenger. I just wanted to let you know that I'm legally blind. I can't see. So I'm gonna need your help getting into the car once you're here. I'll be waiting out front. I pull up and there's this guy who is probably like 400 pounds. And again, I drive a Prius. Sick. That's not getting old. And in my head, I'm like, logistically, how's this gonna work? There's no way. Is he gonna lay across the back seat? Fuck. That's bad. I get out and help him towards the car. He gets in, we start driving, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to the grocery store. Right down the street. We pull up in front of the grocery store, and I'm just kind of waiting. I'm like, is he gonna get out? Do I need to help him get out? And he starts like shuffling around in his pocket. He's like, here's my list. I'm like, that's great. That's a good thing to have if you're going shopping. Why do I need to know this? I can't see. I need you to go shop for me. Apparently he does this a lot. I can't tell him no. I just, that's not me. Pull into a spot. I'm like, you want me to leave the car running? He hands me his driver's license, an EBT card, and a list. As I'm walking into the store, I'm like, this dude totally could be running a racket where he just, like, his friend's gonna hop in the front now and he's gonna steal my car. But I'm already balls deep in this. I might as well get it over with. I look at the list. It's just his prescriptions, Pepto-Bismol, and 3 gallons of chocolate milk. I go to the prescription counter. I'm like, hey, I'm picking up a prescription for James. And they're like, yeah, James, are you an Uber driver? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, he does this all the time. I'm sorry. I get all his prescriptions. I go get the milk, the fucking Pepto-Bismol. I get in the car and I like scared him when I got in. He's like, oh, like, hey, James, it's fine. It's Brady. We're good. We start pulling away. He's like, hey, I'm going to my friend's house after this. And I told him I'd bring him Arby's. Do you mind stopping, like running through Arby's real quick? I'm like, yeah, fine, God. We go through the long ass Arby's drive-through line. This guy orders $40 worth of Arby's. We pull up to the window. I didn't know Arby's accepts EBT. That might be a flaw in the system. So we get back to his house. He's like, I need you to take me to my friend's, but I need you to drop off the groceries. Groceries being milk, Pepto-Bismol, and pills. And he's like, I can't get out of the car. Do you mind just going into my apartment and putting this stuff away? And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Sure, my time, I have no value, and I like to help, so I'll do this. I get to his apartment, I open the door. It looks like an episode of Hoarders. I don't even know where this guy lives in this place. I open the fridge and there's just like a slice of old ass pumpkin pie and like some oranges that were probably from 1992. Put the milk in there. I put the Pepto-Bismol in there. I'm like, can this go in the fridge? Maybe. Go into his bathroom, which is even worse. There's a couple cats running around. Smells awful. I put the pills in the cabinet. I come back out. His friend's house is literally just another apartment in this complex. We drive 30 feet. And he's like, hey, thank you so much for your help today. Can you help me carry this Arby's into my friend's house? And at this point, I'm like, okay, I might be in danger. This could be bad. I've helped a lot at this point. Yes, I will. We get to his friend's apartment. It's a very dark room with another very large man sitting in one of 2 chairs with the TV on. And he's like, hey, James, you got the Arby's? And James is like, yeah, this is Brady. He's been a big help today. And I set the Arby's down on behind the counter and I'm like, okay. Like the door to the apartment just slams behind me and I'm like, ha, bad situation, leave. I put the foot on the counter, I'm like, James, it's been a pleasure helping you. Thank you so much for using Uber. I gotta go right now. And he's like, well, hold on. You don't want to forget about your tip. I'm like, oh, maybe there's a silver lining here. You should never expect a tip or to be paid for good deeds. But I was like, I fucking earned this. And he starts digging around in his pocket forever, pulls out 2 shiny quarters. And he's like, here you go, buddy, and drops 50 cents into my hand. And I'm like, thanks, James, you have a great night. And I get the fuck out of there. I get in my car, I just pulled into a parking spot. I'm sitting there with like my head on the steering wheel. I end the ride. I'm like, you know what? This is taking about 2 hours now. Hopefully this is gonna pay me out a little bit, make up for this 50-cent tip. The way that Uber works is that you get paid basically for miles. Minutes don't really mean shit. And we'd gone like a mile. So yeah, $4.21 plus 50 cents. So almost made $5. I literally just shut the app off. I got out of my car in the like courtyard of this apartment complex. There was a bird feeder. I threw the 50 cents in there and I deleted the Uber app. And that was the last ride I ever gave. So shout out to James, you broke me. Anyway, that's the end of the entertaining part of this video, if it was. Was it? I'm trying to do this weekly, videos at least once a week, so please hit like if you like this, subscribe if you want to watch more. I'm doing a thing where I'm like responding to every comment I get, so leave a comment down below and I'll say what's up, leave criticism, feedback, make fun of me. I have a couple more videos I'm working on. I didn't really want to do an Uber Stories Part 2 as my second fucking video, but it's taking a lot of editing time, so these kind of story time videos are way easier for me to edit, so I just want to make sure I got something out to you guys. Before we end this, I just want to say thank you. I'm really overwhelmed by the amount of support and love that you guys gave me on the first video. It's amazing. So thank you, for real. Please share this with a friend and subscribe, because I'm not going anywhere. I was gonna say something funny, but now that just sounded dark. Yeah, new video next week. All my Instagram, Twitter, things down below or at the end of the video. Watch the first episode. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop. If you busy plotting on what I got, kick in your door and swat.